Hello, classmates, professor, and audience members. So when is the last time you questioned when you were pumping gas into your car if the pump was giving you the right amount of gas for the money you paid? Or how about when you went to the post office and you shipped off a package and you ended up paying an outrageous amount of money because that package weighed a certain amount? Now, don't have no fear because metrologists like myself are taking care of you. Metrology, which is defined by the International Bureau of Weights and Measures, is the science of measurements. So, metrologists like us will check these devices periodically to make sure that they are accurate. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the history of measurements, and then I'm also going to talk to you about how measurements incorporate into your daily lives and how they will affect your life if they're not taken properly. Without further ado, first, we're going to talk about history of measurements. So, history of measurements go way back during the Egyptian times. And according to Wikipedia.org, the first record of a permanent standard dates back to 2900 BC. And that standard was the royal cubit. It was said to measure the length of the forearm to the fingertip of the pharaoh. So that standard set the standard for all the master builders. So they had to take their cubit and compare it to the pharaoh's cubit in order for them to be standard with everyone else. So the master builders then use it to build the pyramids, which still stand today. So you would have to guess that all the blocks that build the pyramids have to be the same height, same width, and that was due to the standardization of the cubit. Another measurement standard that exists, or from history, and it still exists today, is Lagrange K, which is the gram kilogram. And according to NIST.gov, Lagrange K was forged in 1889, and 120 years later, today, is still in existence, and it is a weight that the world relies upon. The Lagrange K is kept under triple lock and key, stored in a vault outside of Paris, France. There are said to be 80 replicas worldwide, and these replicas are required to be compared against Lagrange K periodically to make sure that they are within a certain amount of weight to ensure that the international standard of the kilogram is worldwide. So you would say, why is standard weight required? So even way back in the days when fur traders, grain traders, gold traders, they all needed a standard measurement. And a device such as Lagrange K was one of those standards that existed. So without a standard weight measurement, legal trade would not be in existence today. If you would like to learn more about these two standards I've talked about, I would encourage you to go online and search the royal cubit and also Lagrange K. So now I talked a little bit about history. I'm going to talk to you about how weights and measures affect your daily lives. As previously mentioned, when you're pumping gas in your car on a normal afternoon, you put gas in your car and you want to ensure that the gas you're pumping, you're being charged the correct amount. Well, rest assured, because the United States Department of Weights and Measures tests these pumps for accuracies. Metrologists will check these periodically and make sure that they are dispensing the right amount of fuel for the dollar amount you are paying. Now, when they do test these pumps, if they're not in compliance, these companies will be charged upwards of $50,000 for non-compliance. So next time you're at a fuel pump, I encourage you to take a look and search for the certification and see when the last time it was checked by the United States Department of Weights and Measures. Another simple measurement device that we use on a day-to-day basis, though it's not calibrated by a higher governing body, is a tape measure. We use it for just real non-accurate measurements. Cutting wood or building a table or a shelf or something like that. but there are tape measures in existence that do require calibration. And these tape measures are calibrated by NIST, which is the National Institute of Standards and Technology. Now, this calibration body calibrates these tape measures for athletics associations. These are the associations that will measure 40-yard dashes or a athlete's vertical jumps, long jumps, and such like that. Oil companies, crime scene investigators, and other associations that require these precise measurements. If you would like to see a video on how this tape measure is calibrated, I encourage you to go to nist.gov and search calibrating tape measure. Also previously mentioned, I mentioned the scale at the post office. So you go into the post office and you bring your package, you hand it into the postmaster. He then puts it on the scale. He or she then puts it on the scale and weighs your package. And in turn, he'll charge you a certain amount of money depending on the weight of your scale of your box. Now you can be rest assured that that scale is tested by the Department of Weights and Measures periodically. Now you probably wonder, how does the Department of Weights and Measures, how can you be rest assured that they are accurately measuring your instruments, these instruments? So periodically, the National Institute of Standards and Technology and other international governing bodies will get together and make sure that they are all using the same unit of measures for all these other devices. So today I talked to you a little bit about history, the history of measurements, metrology, which is the science of measurements. I talked to you a little bit about applications in your daily lives, and I hope you guys were informed on my briefing here, and I encourage you to go out and do some more research on measurements and weights and measures. Thank you, and have a good day.